Hello! So it's time for me to answer your questions and assumptions. When I put the little question box on Instagram, I said to be bold and to not hold back. I think only one person was bold, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to start with the questions. Question number 1. Favorite YouTuber? This is a hard question because I don't really watch that many YouTubers, to be honest. I just watch, like the people I follow on Instagram. Whenever they make a video, I like to just go and show some support, show some love. But the one YouTuber that I've been watching the most lately is, I cannot remember the name exactly, and I don't want to say a wrong name, but I'm just gonna put it here. She's very into like spirituality and like self-growth and all that stuff. Not really fitness related, but I just love her content so much. So the next two questions are exactly the same. They're from the same person. The only difference is the emoji used at the end. So the first one is wildest trip, car emoji. So the wildest trip was my last solo trip, which was like 2 years ago. I went to Poland by myself for a few days. It was great, but so many things went wrong. So many things went horribly wrong or were very stressful, but it's still one of my favorite trips ever. So the first thing is, I didn't have that much money at the time because I had overspent, but I still wanted to go, so I got a really cheap hostel. I know I go to hostels because it's great, to meet people, whatever. But that one was horrible. Oh my god, the mattress was literally this thick. The lockers in the room did not actually lock, so I had to sleep with my passport and wallet under my pillow. The shower, like when you turn on the shower, it was basically just dripping. It wasn't actual water coming out of it. So the shower, it would take almost an hour. It was horrible, and the bathroom was dirty. So that's like the first thing that went wrong. The second thing is, I had gone from wherever I was to another city for the day and then come back, but I got the train at like 6 p.m. to get back to my hostel, and it wasn't the last train, but it kept getting delayed and it was missing stops. And then the train after that, because I had to switch, was also super delayed, and then I had to switch another train again, but that train was like supposed to leave at 11 at night, and it was in the middle of nowhere. Like, that train station was in the middle of nowhere, and my train was arriving to that station at 11:30. So I started panicking. I'm like, what if the train doesn't wait? I think it's going to wait because it's waiting on the people that are on the train that I'm on. But what if they don't wait? Like, how do I get back home? Like, I was panicking so much, and then I got to the station and the train was still there, so I sprinted over there. And whew. The third thing is that there was a market that was like a 15-minute walk away from my hostel, and I was like, you know what, I like walking, the weather's nice, I'm gonna go for a walk. So I was on Google Maps getting there, and then I get to the middle of a street, and you can either go right or left, or there's a forest in front of you, and Google Maps was telling me to go straight. And I was like, okay, well, there seems to be a path, so I'm just going to walk into this forest. It was in February, so there was kind of snow like on the path, whatever. It was very slippery. I almost fell like 5 times. Anyway, I started walking, and then after a while, Google Maps just stopped working. I was like, okay, what do I do now? I'm literally in the middle of a forest. I have no idea which way to go. I think I'm lost. So I'm just gonna walk back, keep walking straight. At some point, I'm gonna get out of that forest, right?
So I walked and I walked and I walked, and I eventually got out.
So yes, I did have a nice little walk, but I could have just gotten lost in a Polish forest. The last story of this wild trip was that on my last day, I was getting a Flixbus to another city, and then from there getting, I think, a plane or something. And Flixbus, for those who don't know, is like a really cheap bus that goes from a city to another city. So I went to where it was supposed to be, and I could not see it. Like, it's a green bus, you would be able to tell, and it wasn't there. I'm like, okay, it leaves in like 10 minutes. The app says that it's here. Where is it? So then I got on a bus that had the same number, and I don't speak Polish, obviously, and the driver doesn't speak English. So he was trying to explain something to me, and I was like,
my ticket, like, supposed to go there. I'm supposed to go to Amsterdam. Help me.
and he's like,
no first class.
so then I went to the little area where you can buy tickets to ask the woman there, like, where's the train? The bus was going to leave in like 5 minutes. There was one person in front of me buying a ticket. It shouldn't have taken more than like 2 minutes. It took 20 minutes for that person to get the ticket. By that time, my bus was gone. The woman didn't speak English either, so she did not understand what I was saying. So then I just went to the normal train station and bought a train ticket and went back, which costed a lot more than what I had planned. But you know what? It's okay. It was still a great trip. I had a great time. Yeah. Second question that is exactly the same, but the emoji changed, is wildest trip. This emoji. I think the wildest trip was when I used to make my brownies, and I've never done that before, like by myself, and I am really bad at measurements, like really bad at measurements. So I was just winging it, just trying to figure it out myself. Me and the few people who tried it, we basically had an out-of-body experience. Like, it was crazy, but it was really fun, and I tried recreating it again another time, but it did not work because, again, I'm bad at measurements and I didn't know what I had done the first time, so I couldn't recreate it a second time, but that memory lives on. What are your cravings? So recently, ever since I started actually eating filling food, like good food, you know, like enough protein and all that stuff, I don't really crave that much anymore. Like maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks I would crave like a pizza or a burger or something. But before, when I wasn't eating as well as I do now, I used to crave like ice cream and chocolate at least twice a day. It was really bad. So it would normally be chocolate back then, but now that I eat well, it's usually like pizza or burgers. Yeah. Why did you start your page? So I started my page because I wanted to share like my fitness progress and just my fitness journey and everything with people, but I didn't want to do that on my personal account because like 95% of the people who follow me would not care, and I wanted to like meet people that are in that fitness community. I wanted to meet people that have the same interests, so I decided to make a separate page so that I could meet people who care about the same things and grow a community and just, you know, share my tips and tricks and experiences and all that, because I really do enjoy doing that. And apparently quite a few people like my stuff, so that makes me very happy. Which course at uni did you attend? I am still studying media and entertainment management in the Netherlands, but I am doing my internship in Dubai now. It's like part of my studies. In order to graduate, I have to do a placement. Yeah, it's a really good study. I really enjoy it. What's your sign? I get Scorpio vibes. That's funny because I have absolutely no Scorpio placements whatsoever in my chart, but I am a water sign. I am a Cancer sun and rising with an Aquarius moon. So I'm pretty cool, I think. How long have you been a vegan for? I am not vegan, actually. I am technically pescatarian because I do rarely eat fish, but like I'd say 85% of what I eat is vegan, and the 15% that is not vegan is just from like cheese and dairy that's in some products that I eat, and the occasional fish. But I decided to cut out meat about 6 years ago, I think, when I was about 15 or 16 years old. And I did go through phases of going vegan, but it just, I don't know, it never really stuck. Eventually I might want to go back to that, we'll see. Moving on to assumptions. I didn't get many assumptions, but I'm gonna go through them. The first one is, you're a cutie, I'm assuming. You are correct. You are very correct. That is so true. So true. You've never had body or food related issues. That is a very, very, very wrong. So when I was about 15, I started being very conscious about my body. I wasn't like, I don't have pictures to show, but I wasn't fat or skinny. I was just normal. Like I was very average. My body was very average. It was great, but I was very conscious of it. Like it kind of happened overnight, and I was doing Kayla's like bikini bodyguard literally every day, and I hated it because I'm not a big fan of cardio, and all of her stuff was mainly HIIT, so it made me miserable, and I was restricting my food so much. And then a few days later I would binge on literally any food I could find. So that lasted, I think, about a year, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, it was very bad. Another recent struggle was a year ago when lockdown started. So just before lockdown, I had decided to go into a calorie deficit to lose a little bit of fat, get leaner, whatever. And then a lockdown happened, the gyms closed, so I decided to cut back my calorie intake even more because I'm not going to the gym, I'm not being as active as I used to, so you know, just to regulate. But I was feeling extremely dizzy all the time. I had no energy. I felt like I was going to throw up and pass out every time I worked out. And I was like,
maybe, just maybe, I'm not eating enough.
So for a week, I decided to track my food to see how much I was eating. And the average was 900 calories. It hurts saying this because I know better. Like, I know better. I knew better at the time, but I don't know why I just did it. So after that, I was like, okay, what am I doing? So I just went back to eating normally, and yeah, that's it. You're an introvert. Yes, I am. Introvert and extrovert has nothing to do with how shy or outgoing you are. It's about how you recharge. So introverts recharge by spending time with themselves, and extroverts recharge by being around people. So yeah, I love spending time by myself. So that's it for the questions and assumptions. Thank you so much for sending them. Thank you so much for watching.